Hi everyone. In this video, I'll be talking about the flagella and their application in movement. Basically, what is the function of flagella? Okay. Always remember that bacterial flagella usually helps in the swimming movement. The movement is basically known as swimming movement in case of the bacteria. Now, in case of the swimming movement, what happens? They need an energy. Okay, the flagella, if it want to rotate itself and then help to move forward the whole bacterial cell in a forward direction, they need a driving force. Okay, now what is that driving force that acts? It's basically proton motive force. Proton motive force, which is actually known as PMF. Now, you all know that electron transport chain that occurs in the plasma membrane. It occurs in the plasma membrane. So, during electron transport chain, what happens? Proton that will expelled or transported out from the cytosol, okay, that will expelled out from the cytosol, and electron enters into the cell. Now that will create difference in charge and pH in the plasma membrane region, and that difference is known as the proton motive force. This proton motive force is basically the driving force for flagella to rotate. Okay, now whenever flagellar movement is needed for the bacteria to swim or to run, not the tumble, okay, for swimming, what happens? Proton will enter into cell and electrons will move out from cell. Now what happen? Inside the cell it becomes pH is very low due to the excess amount of proton. So again there is a differences in the proton or the charges. Proton means the charges along with the pH level, because where is the proton is high, the pH is lower, because more H plus means it's acidic in nature, the environment is. So this is the proton motive force, which actually the main driving force for flagella to move in the clockwise direction. Okay, flagella to move in the clockwise direction so that it can move the whole cell into a forward direction, and that whole phenomena is known as swimming or run. Okay, now there is another thing, that is tumbling. During the tumbling, what happens? This is the general phenomena, that if bacterial cell want to move forward by the attractant or the repellent, means the chemotaxis or any kind of a food nutrients are present in the environment, so bacterial cell want to eat that. In a simple language, they want to eat that. If they want to eat that nutrient, absorb that nutrient, so they will move forward towards that nutrient. Okay, so there only this flagella will help to move them in a forward direction, and the flagella, they will rotate in a counterclockwise. This is counterclockwise direction, and cell wall will move forward in this way. So this is the simple swimming or the simple running method of the bacteria with the help of flagella. But in case of tumbling, There is another phenomena which is known as tumbling. ঠিক আছে? So if there is tumbling, what happens there? During tumbling, just reverse thing occurs. The flagella, they will move or rotate. It's wise to use the word rotate in case of flagella. Flagella will rotate in clockwise direction, just reverse of this simple run or swimming method. They will rotate in a clockwise direction and cell will move in the anti-clockwise direction. Just reverse thing happens. So just keep it in your mind that whenever normal condition, the bacterial cell needs to their movement, they need their movement, or they want to eat the food in some simple way, they want to eat their food, or some attractant, chemical attractant was there and bacteria wants to go there or visit there, they need the run or the swimming motility. That is the simplest form, or it's not the simplest, but it's the natural form of their movement. But when they start to tumble, just reverse rotation, reverse direction movement that occurs in the flagella, and that affects the whole bacterial cell movement. Okay, and the main force is the proton motive force. Here is also another thing which is very important, that in case of gram-negative bacteria, you all know that there are basal body which has 4 rings in the cell wall plasma membrane site. Okay, now this is L ring, P ring, not M, L ring, P ring, then there is MS ring and C ring. What happens, this MS ring and C ring, they act as a rotor, like a pump. We all have pump in our home, because we want to during the suctioning process of the water from a reservoir to the tank, you need a pump, right? Or you need any kind of a machine which will use the torque, okay, or the power to take out something from somewhere. So this, imagine that thing, this is a rotor, or there is a pump. Okay, there is a rotor. Now there is a rotor which is basically this MS and C ring. This MS and C ring of the basal body of a gram-negative bacteria, they act basically as a rotor which will help this flagella, because flagella have 2 things, one rotor and stator. There are 2 things, one is rotor and one is stator. Now stator is different thing. Stator, basically there are 2 proteins known as MOT A and MOT B. Both of them, they will make a channel or a hole, okay, in the plasma membrane section. So they will make a channel. This is the MOT A, MOT B. They will make a channel like this, okay, or a hole in the plasma membrane, and they are also attached to the cell wall PDG layer. So rotor part is MS and C ring, it's clear now, and MOT A, MOT B are the 2 proteins which will make the stator portion, means the 2 of these proteins will make in a combination a channel or hole in the whole plasma membrane region. Now what happens here, I have already told about the proton motive force, and during the flagellar movement, what is important, it needs the electrons to be moved out from the cytoplasm and protons to be entered into the cell. That will generate the proton motive force, because there is a gradient in pH and charges. So this stator, rotor is basically help to rotate, and stator is basically help to enter the protons inside the cell during the swimming motility with the help of flagella in case of bacteria. So they basically are also known as proton transporters in case of bacteria. Okay, so in this process, the whole swimming motility, not any kind of a motility, swimming motility, or you can say it run, also occurs in case of gram-positive and negative bacteria with the help of the flagella, and the driving force is proton motive force. Well, thank you so much. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and share with your friends.